Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
Good morning, top of the morning here in sunny California. You're listening to the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live with nothing but straight talk. You know how we do it around here, folks. It's nothing but straight talk up in here. And we have a great show for you today. My co-hosts are, number one, the wonderful Mr. Keith Swanson. He's still the AI man. People are still looking for him. He's all over the place, and you all do not recognize his voice. I had money on the table last year. If anyone would catch this AI man and call me and say, hey, I got him. We had it up to about $5,000 last year. Nobody caught Keith. He was at Black Rice on tour. He's always, his voice never changed. I don't understand you all. You must have some hearing problems or something. You should have caught Keith. Keith, how are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. They better catch me before I start speaking Chinese, though, because Chinese.
Oh, my Lord. I tell you.
Because Chinese is leading in AI right now. I got to move, okay?
Don't jump ship. Don't jump ship, Keith. Stay with us. Stay with us, okay? Oh, my God. My other co-host is Mr. Ricky. Mr. Ricky. And that's called Mr. Ricky.
Mr. Ricky, yes.
Yeah,
Mr. Ricky.
Mr. Ricky. He's written that awesome book, The Talk of the Town, holding workshops and seminars, and people just going crazy. Ricky, is it the book or is it because you're such a handsome young man? Which one is it? I know it's really the book. Okay.
It's the book.
It's the book. It's both.
It's the book.
But I am so proud of you and everybody still talking about that piece you wrote called with Choice, wasn't it?
Circles.
Yeah, circle. Talk about your circle. One, I think everybody got kids or grandkids need to read it because people really don't understand about this circle. Who need to be in, who need to be out. I mean, grown folks don't understand that, but you guys, you definitely want to pick up his book, and I'll tell you how to get it before the show ends. If you don't read but one poem, they're all good. Help build relationship. How are you doing, Ricky?
I'm good. I'm grateful. My boys are back in school. My son.
Hallelujah.
My son is in his last year of college, so he'll be graduating this year. So I'm happy. I'm excited. Just God is good. God is continuously blowing my mind, even though I sometimes lose my mind, but he's able to restore it and get me back on track. But yeah, I can't complain. I woke up this morning, so I'm already one step ahead.
Well, I'm going to say like my sister always say, Christy, he said, wave your hand and say thank you.
That's it.
Oh, God. I'm glad to see Barbara Smith. Haven't seen her a long time. She's joining us today. And my guest for today, oh, you guys, she's just so incredible. This is a woman that I love dearly. I mean, she is, not to say all over the place, but she has such a prominent position in the city, working with the Urban League. She is a businesswoman. She's a business coach. She has her own TV talk show. She's absolutely incredible. And she agreed to come on here because she keeps up with all the political movement, all the things that we need to know. And she's a part of our town hall meeting. She gives report, brings us up on what's available. There's so much out there that our people don't know about. She blew their mind at our last town hall, just talking about the work source and the Urban League. service program that's available that our people just don't know about. The Bible speaks of that lack of knowledge. Oh my God. And don't we have plenty lack of knowledge? So today we're going to be talking about something very important, but let me just introduce her, which I did. But good morning, Miss Krista. How are you?
I am wonderful, and it's a pleasure to be here today. And what's going on in our world right now requires our full, undivided attention. And so we got to engage and make things happen. So I'm excited. And Dr. Rosie, I know you highly admire me, but I cannot tell you how I admire you. When we get into our latter years, sometimes we just want to coast it on out until God decides that we done all that we can do. But you are just like a force to be reckoned with out there. And so we thank you in our community for what you're doing, and you see the urgency and you act on it like immediately. And that's what needs to happen. We can't just be sitting around waiting. So you are my guru and mentor, and you inspire me to do what I do.
Well, I thank you very much. You know, Krista, she also works with a Recycle Black Dollar, keeping that alive and keeping that going. But when I think about, Krista, all the people that we know, we couldn't even name them, that started out, that's off the scene and no longer here, it makes me think that God must be keeping me here to do something. And I'll be 80 years old this year, you guys. Hey, come on.
Hey.
The big 80. We're going to have a shame dang doodle. So y'all get ready to put your dance shoes on. We're going to have a great time. So I'm here for a purpose, and I recognize that. So I'm in a hurry. You may see me moving fast. People go, well, what you doing now? What you doing next? I am in a hurry, you guys, because I have less time ahead of me than I had before. So I want to get some things done. So if you see me moving like lightning, just say, get out of her way, because she got to get something done, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Get out the way. Huh?
Get out the way. So that's what we're talking about. So today, we are talking about, I think this topic is absolutely incredible. So we're going to talk about Proposition 50. Now, folks, we allowed Prop-19 to slip by us. So we need to take a real look. Now, Prop-19, Krista, took away land, took away inheritance for our children's children. So we're going to look at today, what will Proposition 50 take? Will it take something from us, or will it add something to us? Is it something permanent, or is it something that we just need to look at right now, and it's something that we need to remind everybody in the sound of our voice to really take a look at it. I don't think we can go to sleep at the wheel on this one. It's kind of a silent thing. Most people don't know anything about it, Krista. I don't quite understand it. How do we get the word out? I mean, something to be voted on. We talking about November, right?
Right.
November is around the corner, and we're talking about an issue that most people have never heard of. So we got to figure out, how do we get it to the ear? So we are starting out today with this show. This show is going to be on YouTube. It's going to play tonight again at 6 p.m. at innerlightradio.com. So, folks, when we find out something, we got to spread the news. This is no play talk. So let me turn this over to Ms. Krista Mitchell, and she's going to tell us about what we are talking about.
So I know many people have heard the term gerrymandering, but most folks don't understand it if you're not really part of the political world. So that is a political party way of manipulating the votes, basically. And so Texas started it. So Texas came and said that they were going to grab power by taking 5 seats. And so I don't know if you guys understand what that really meant. By Texas redistributing and redistricting, they actually pushed Jasmine Crockett out because they absorbed the district that she was in, and they pushed her out of office. So who is the loudest one during the last since we're at 7 or 8 months now, who has been the loudest voice that we've been hearing since January 20? Jasmine Crockett, right?
Yes.
So now they just then wiped her out. So it's like playing chess. You just took the queen out, and now you're supposed to figure out what you're supposed to do. So that's about as clear as terms as I can put it at the present moment. Now I heard last night that Jasmine, because she's a very strategic chess player, so she's just moving to another district, and you can do that in the state. You don't have to live in that district as long as you're in the state. So she's getting ready to run for that office, and it's a shoo-in that she's going to get it. So they thought they were going to shut her down, and she's not. So let's go back to, for those that really don't understand, what is California's Prop-50 about? So on November 4th, 2025, there's going to be a special election ballot, and it's going to propose temporary, pausing the Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission to allow the legislation to redraw the congressional maps that would favor Democrats for the 2026-2030 period. After that, redistricting authority will return back to the Independent Commission post 2025. So we're not taking anything away. We just are strategically moving around the chessboard. So I don't know how many of you play chess out there, but you got to have strategy or basketball or football or anything out there that you guys understand. You got to have strategy to counteract everybody's move, right? You just can't sit there. And so what it will do is it will strike back at the Republican-led mid-decade gerrymandering. So the Republicans are like masters of gerrymandering. They've been doing it for years. And in fact, Texas has been so gerrymandered, there really wasn't much left to gerrymander. And they've literally only left 4 Democratic districts available in the state of Texas. And so, as Governor Newsom says, it's time to fight back, right? Now, I don't know about any one of you guys. If somebody comes up and slaps me in the head, I'm going to hit back. What about you guys? Are you going to hit back, or are you just going to let them keep hitting on you?
I think that's why everybody's upset with the Democratic Party right now, because they're just not slapping back.
Right. We've been asking for that. Why are you not fighting back? Then we fight back, and they're like, well, Newsom's out of line. No, he's not. The man has come out saying, I'm not taking this anymore. So why does this matter to us? So one of the things is leveling the playing field. And if we net the 5 additional congressional seats, now we're aiming to counter that by creating maps to flip 5 other Republican California seats into Democratic seats. So that gives us more people. So what he's doing is shoring up the Democratic control. That's what we're doing to make sure. Now, in the state of California, I mean, you can love California or you can hate California, but if you were to put the United States under a microscope right now, what state would you rather live in? I mean, even with all of what's going on in the world, when you look at all of the southern states and some of the northern states, the Republicans and the Trump cult has pretty much taken over, right? And we just cannot live in an authoritative country. We just cannot. That's not why it was built. That's not why the Civil War really was fought. It was because they didn't want any kings. It was looking for independence from Great Britain, and they didn't want any kings. So we have this madman come along, decide he's going to be the king of the country, and he's going to do what he's been doing. And so we can't continue to sit back, Dr. Rosie, and just keep taking this stuff. We really can't.
Right. So it's really about manipulation, political manipulation. That's what it's really is all about. But I think you will be getting a lot in your mail in the next few, following, you have a lot of stuff coming in the mail trying to explain this. Those who are opposing, they're going to tell you that this strategy is something taken away the people's choice. In other words, what they are saying in their campaign is you will no longer be voting for the politician. You will not choose them. They are going to choose you. So how important is it with all this emailing and mass mailing like this, Krista, different stuff that's going to be coming in your mailbox? So how important is it to get this information, to have people really understand? Key thing for me is to understand that this is not a permanent situation, because people are led to believe, well, from now on, you will not, they would choose the voters. The politician would choose the voter versus you choosing the politician. That's what you're going to get in all this mailing that's going to be coming in your mailbox. So how important or how poisoning is what we get in the mail when we don't have people counting what the real truth is?
Well, I think with any voting, not just this one, but any voting, when things come in the mail, you need to read it. And if you don't understand, there are a number of people out there that does. And all you have to do is, if I don't understand what this ballot is about, put it in, go to Facebook or put it in Instagram and say, I don't know what this is. What should I do? And people will populate that. But I think for us as a people in our community, we have, over the years, historically, just allowed someone to tell us what to vote, when to vote, how to vote, right? We don't even read the ballot. We just check off boxes because we go to church and they give us a little card, and we just go, oh, they like this, and I'm going to go with this. But you're not looking and reviewing the judges, the school boards, the Indian chiefs, the man that's lighting the candles, whatever it is. You have to know who these people are, because some of them have pretty bad backgrounds, and they have ulterior motives for what they're doing. So right now, I think our biggest, we should be definitely playing defense. We've been on the offense since January 20th. So now we should be on the defense to make sure that we're doing what's right for the majority of the people in this state that we live in. And consequently, California is a trendsetter. So if California moves forward and moves out, it's like following a carpool. Everybody else, the other Democratic states are going to start feeling a lot more comfortable, and they're going to start moving forward as well, which is what's happening, because Chicago is gearing up to do the exact same thing that we're doing if the Republican Party decides to gerrymander another place. Then the Republican Party, the Democratic Party in Chicago is going to pull 5 seats. And this is going to keep on. We have to counteract what's happening out here. We just can't keep letting it happen. So what is on your ballot? When that information comes in, read it. If you don't understand it, reach out to Dr. Rosie, reach out to me, reach out to your local representative. They will explain. And I'm going to tell you something about California. You can go anywhere in this city and you can find whoever's representing you at some event. Steve Bradley, he was in Gardena just hanging out at the jazz festival. Walk up to him, people, and ask, what does this mean? But if you go, I was with Kern a couple of days ago. So they're out there. They're not hiding in their offices where you can't find them. So, and you can call them. They're quite friendly.
Yeah, call them and write them. Chris, I say, every day, Ricky, there are people on Facebook, you guys, they just writing. I said, now, I'm so glad that people know how to write. You know how I am about literacy, with Black Writers on Tour, trying to teach people how to write. But while you're writing on Facebook, write to the people that can make a difference in your life, folks. That's what they pen. The stroke of the pen need to be about that. And on another note with that, I'm so happy when I see all these writers like Rick and all these other people, because tell you, we would be written out of history unless we pick up that pen, because you can see what's happening right now with the people who've been removed from the White House. They would never erase us. The pen, the stroke of the pen is mighty. So it's important for to start writing. And if you're not clear about these issues, proposition, call your representative. Ask them to explain it to you. Go on ChatGPT. Go someplace. Just get some information about it. Trust me, you can go in ChatGPT and say, please explain to me in layman's terms. Always do the in layman's terms what this proposition is and how does it impact me. But we're going to look at, first we're going to see if we have a call of one of our co-hosts, if Ricky or one of our guests, if you have a question or comment, we're going to allow you to do it at that time. And Crystal, when I come back, I want you to talk about what does a no vote mean right now.
Okay.
I'm out of it. I don't know what it's about, so I ain't voting. So let's talk about what a no vote is. So put that in a pen. We're going to talk about that when it comes back. So, Ricky, you may have a comment. Anyone else that's on, we're going to allow you to at this time, if you'd like to.
What I want to know is, how is this different from the normal? Because gerrymandering has been around for a long time. How is this this proposition different from the normal, what they call gerrymandering process? What is the change? Because, like I said, gerrymandering has been around for a very, very long time, since the 19th century. So, what does this change?
Well, I think since Trump, the whole administration stole the election in November, so we need to be very, very clear about that. They stole that, guys. There was no. She won that hands down. Kamala won that hands down, and they stole it. So I think the importance this time, Keith, is the fact that because and they're still geared up to do that for the next one. For 2026, they're gearing up to steal the election. So this is all part of that for them. This is their plot one, is to redistrict, and then come November, and they're always planning, or Trump is always planning right behind that to say, oh, they stole it. They stole it. They stole it. It was them. It was them. And so he's always ready with that cliche of his. And so this one I think is important is, one, we're fighting back. We have to show the people that we can fight back, right? As Black people, we're not the type that sit back and wait for. We should not be the type to sit back and wait for stuff. Because when we sit back and wait for stuff, horrible things happen to us if we're gonna wait and see. We can't. We have to be ready to fight. And
what
so
you saying, Chris? We can't just wait on the Lord, huh?
No. Well, the Lord, actually, if you ask Him to help you, the Bible that I read and that I was taught when I was a kid says that faith without action is dead. That's what it says to me. That's what mine said. I don't know what everybody else has said, but that's what I was taught in Bible study, in Bible school, and by my grandmother and grandfather and all those folks. So this is an action. We can pray all we want, but if you're just sitting there waiting for God to send the white wrath, He's already sent it 3-4 times.
Yep. The old story.
And he sent the helicopter, he sent the boat, he sent the surfer, he sent everybody. And you're like, oh no, I'm waiting for him to come. So this is really that. This is an action for a counteraction for something that they're doing. And this time, Keith, is really, really important, I think, because of what we lost November 5th in 2024. We lost big.
So I think what she's saying, Keith, is we have more at stake now when we're talking about gerrymandering than we ever had before, because we're at a time in history that we have never seen anything like anything that we are seeing. True. I mean, totally. All the disasters across the country. We are in an era now, we're witnessing things that, I mean, that's totally new. Ricky, you had a comment.
Yes. So this is going to be a very sticky comment, and I'm putting it out there because I'm speaking for people that have these thoughts, because I've had conversations. When you look at the plight of Black people, African Americans in this country, and all the things that they had to overcome to get to a place of being able to vote. And then now you get to a place in 2024 where you're feeling like if we got the numbers, which we did, we have the power, the backing, the resources, which we did, and we're going to put our best foot forward so we can at least not necessarily change history, but add to history so we can have a voice that can sound, louder than the wind. And then when you get to that place, and like Crystal said, the election gets stolen because it was clear who won. And it was not behind nobody's back. It was very blatant, very intentional, and very direct. So my question to Crystal, and I don't know if she can really answer this, but my question to Crystal is this. What do you say to those people who put their best foot forward and they did everything they were supposed to do on their end and still came up empty-handed because of the powers that be, and then now they're slated to do this again so they can continue to have this control over the nation, and where Black people really have not been able to still get ahead even with the right position and the right resources in hand? What do you say to those people?
Well, I say
That's a loaded one. That's a loaded one.
I say, first of all, those that fought and died for us to vote made it very, very clear. They shedded their blood for us to give us that opportunity to vote. That's the first thing. So beyond being a U.S. citizen, it is a power. Now, yes, they cannot play fair, and that happens all the time, right? But when they don't play fair, then we have to have the ammunition to come back to push to make sure that they do play fair. And I think that is where we are right now. I personally think, as uncomfortable as everything that we've been through for the last 8 months, it is there for a reason. And that is that it's time for people to stand up and just not sit back and coast. And Trump doesn't play fair. He never has played fair. And everyone has underestimated him and what he's done. He's a racist, but I don't think he is committed to racism as he is committed to not going to jail. And people will do everything in their power to keep from going to jail. Now, all the rest of them nut jobs out there are racist. And so here's the real situation, Ricky. If we continue to let them to observe the power and continue to do what they're going to do, all that does is that external grouping of people that they've already fired up to that they are the chosen folks and they're going to run this country and this is their country, that's not going to calm them down. That's going to give them so much more power. They're going to walk up to you, and they're doing this already, walking up to you and completely disrespecting you and expecting you to turn the other cheek. We just can't keep turning the other cheek. At some point, we got to say, we're human beings. We fought for this country. We died for this country. Our ancestors died for this country. We built this country. No, we're not taking this anymore. And we have to be willing to fight back. And I think for those that feel that, what's the point? The point is you being back in the field picking cotton. That's the point.
Yeah, and Crystal, too, to Ricky, I feel what you're saying that people are saying to you. And people are feeling disengaged, like, does it matter? But I want to say to people every day, yes, it does matter. You have to keep coming back. You have to keep going no matter what, because that is the strategy to push you to the point that you feel hopeless. That's why many people are in this country today. That's why they're walking the street and talking to themselves, because they feel a sense of hopelessness. We have to always say, as Reverend Jesse Jackson said, his slogan, keep hope alive, but we got to be doing something to keep it alive. People have gotten disengaged. So right now, this conversation we having, Christian, is so important for us to remind people to never give up. What if those who gone ahead of us had given up? Do you realize what they went through to get to the point that they did get to? What if they had it in their spirit, I'm going to give up? They're not going to let us vote. Said, look how they beat Fannie Lou Hamer. They almost killed her. Look what they did to Mega Evans. We can't give up no matter what. We have to continue to vote. Even though we know things may not have happened the right way, you got to push forward. There is a reckoning day coming. I'm going to say that again. There is a reckoning day coming. So we just need to do what we need to do. Don't lose hope. We got to be at that poll, but not just for the White House. It's critical that we, on a local level, that's where our strength really is going to come from, Krista. Is who's running the city, who's running your board of education, who is your city council person, who is your senator, who is your House of Representatives, what's going on in your city. When we understand that the power for us is greater on a local level, because when we get that local level together, it's going to change the national level. Do you agree, Krista? What's happening on the local level?
I completely agree. In fact, once we're with this special election in November, now we need to gear up for next year for midterms, and so that governor seat is vital that we keep it Democrat. So Katie Porter is running for that seat, and I personally like her with all her boards. I think she was a force to be reckoned with when she was in Congress. But let me tell you what the alternative is. It's a man named Stephen Hilton, and he is 150% in Trump's pocket, right there along with Stephen Miller and all of those other nut jobs. We cannot let California become a red state. Just cannot. That will change our entire lives. And if we think it's bad now, it really will change, because California is a trendsetter. And being I think we're the fourth now largest GDP in the world, Trump's goal by pulling out and some of the removal of the immigrants from us and bringing in the military and all of the things that he was doing was trying to deplete and push us from being the fourth largest GDP in the world. So there's a lot more at stake than just the fact that there's a Republican and a Democrat that is holding your seat. That would literally absurd all of and most of the freedom that we have in California, because California is kind of its own republic, and we've had a few Republicans in place, and we've seen what happens when they have been in place. But it thrives best when it has a Democratic leadership. That's what it does, and so we have to maintain that. And you have to understand that. I know people California's too expensive and this is that and this and that, but go try living in Texas right now. Go try living in Tennessee.
Yeah. So we have to make this is God's land. Let me back up. Let me say that. This is God's land, folks, okay? We have to work at making it what it was intended to be. We have to play a part in that. It's not where it should be, but we all have to play a part in this. If it wasn't so powerful for those who are living in California, why do you think everybody trying to get here? They see something that maybe we're too close to the forest to see it. They see something, Rick, that we don't see because they all want to be here, Barbara. I don't hear them clamoring to go to Mississippi. Why they want to come? All the open green land, the green acres, why they're not there? It's something about California, and that we need to fight to be a part of, because we played a great part of it, here in the first place. But, Chris, I want you to address, because I'm hearing people saying, well, I don't care which way, I'm just not going to vote. What do your no vote or your yes vote mean for the state of California? And we're not talking about permanent. That's what I want the message carried out, because all this information that you get in the mail, you're going to be getting, your mailbox is going to be flooded between now and November talking about this Proposition 50. So I think the public needs to know, yes, your vote matters. It really does. It matters. So let's talk about why it matters. If you don't vote, what are you saying?
You're basically saying that you're voting for the other side. If you don't vote for one, somebody's going to win, right? That's just the way the tournaments are played. That's just the way challenges are played. There's going to be a winner. Now, whether that's you or them, if you give up, then you've already lost, right? You forfeited your vote or forfeited the game based upon the fact you didn't show up, right? And so I think it's very important. But I also need to stress this, is that what is happening is a temporary matter. It's not a permanent power grab. It's strategic. It's not structural, guys. You have to be strategic in life. When you walk out the door, you have to strategically say, do I go left and right? Is this a good day for me to drive? Is this is something going to happen that is going to completely change my life? Should I go into this relationship because I already see the red sign? Everything has to have a strategic purpose behind it. You just can't walk out the door all willy-nilly and thinking you're going to get from point A to B. And so what you're saying, Dr. Rosie, is if you don't vote, guys, and we've seen this in many elections.
We saw it with PROP-19.
With PROP-19, you don't vote, you don't understand what it is, and you just leave it empty, then that means the other vote is going to overpower your no vote. And basically you're voting for that side. So some of you out there, you may not have checked the box even before the steal. You may not have checked the box for Kamala because you didn't want a black woman. You didn't know she's Indian, she's this, she's that, she whatever the heck that was. Bottom line is she was a woman. That's the bottom line. That was the issue. They did not want a woman. And so you didn't check her box, but inadvertently you checked his box. So you actually helped him. Even if he hadn't have stole it, then those others. So I think it was 87 or 89% of black population. We're only 14% of the country voted for Kamala, but there was that small little margin that didn't vote at all. And you ended up voting for him. And so.
And the most important thing I want people to understand that we're talking about a temporary situation. I think, Krista, what's going to make people go to the other side is not understanding that this is not a fix forever. Because the way they explain it, in other words, versus you choosing the politician. Listen to this. This is what they're moving on, Krista. You will know, instead of you choosing the politician are going to choose their voters. That's what's coming out in the propaganda. Now that's deep. Now when you hear that, the average person, they're going to get mad. No, that ain't the way it's going to be. You're not going to choose us. We're going to choose you because this is what we've been doing all this time. We not having you choose. I think that line right there, you guys, is going to be the determining factor as to how people are going to be voting based on this kind of information that's going to be dropped in their mail. So in order for us to counter this, our voices must be heard. We must get this information out. And how do we do it? Are we going to hear it Sunday morning? Where do we sit? Where do we gather? Once a week. Well, I mean, since COVID, you don't have the kind of gathering that you used to have. So, Krista, how do we get this information? We're talking about November
right.
4th, isn't it? We're talking about around the corner. This would be decided on. And let me just pause for one moment, Chris. I see we have a Jackie Ramsey. We have other people who join us. Brenda's here every week. Brenda, if you guys have a comment, we really want to give you that opportunity. And we're going back to our wonderful polished guests. Brenda or Jackie, anyone else have a comment? Barbara Smith?
If you have a comment, just jump in. Okay, you don't have to raise your hand.
Put it in the chat. You can also put it in the chat.
Put a question in the chat, yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Brenda.
This is the first time I have really even heard in any detail about Proposition 50. I don't, where I stand right now is all I can do is, like you said, Dr. Rosie, find out more about it so that on the layman's level where I can explain it to the people that I have contact with. And I think that's what it is. It's just, we just need to be able to use every platform, every opportunity we have to share with those that we have close contact with. But we also have to keep in mind that we have to do it in a way that they understand what it is that we're up against, because a lot of times people don't move because they don't understand. So these meetings help clarify and even give us a direction where we can go in to even find deeper understanding about it to share on the level of the people that we come in contact with so that they understand it as well.
Absolutely. And if you know anyone, if they're using any of the artificial intelligence platform, and a lot of people are using chat, just ask them to go into any of those platforms and ask them to please give me in layman's terms, how the impact about Proposition 50. And then you can keep on asking them more and more questions about it. So a lot of people not going to the library. We don't have the encyclopedias like we have, but God knows we got something out there. And they got the information because we have given it to them. So make sure you tell them about that. But start asking people to really utilize the artificial intelligence platform, because you can get a lot of information that you'll need from there. And sure, there's time you need to fact check by asking them, where did you get your resource, okay? Because these are large language models, computers, but they are gathering information from what's been put out there. And thank you so much, Brenda. She always joins. If there are any other guests who'd like to make a comment, you can do so, and then we're going back to our polished guests. Okay, I guess that means it's back to you.
Okay, so Brenda's absolutely correct. So finding your resource, whether it's on whatever outlet that it's on, we do know at this present moment you cannot look at any of the ABCs, any of the non-independent media channels are not, they're giving you biasness because they're being threatened and they're being sued. And right now, ABC, CBS, NBC is being threatened by Trump that he's going to remove their FCC license. If they don't start, it was yesterday he came out with that one. If they don't start agreeing with everything that he says, he's looking to do the Russia thing, right? You only hear Russian TV. So where you get your news today is independent media. Joy Reid just went on her own. And so they have, there's an outlet called Substack. So Substack is like a news letter outlet that is online. They can do both print and they can do video. And this is where you're going to find all of your independent media outlets now. Those are the outlets that you want to follow. They're giving you unbiased news. You can also go to the BBC, that's outside of this country. Go to Canada, outside of this country. Don't get your news from, unless it's independent. Dr. Rosie, you're independent. My podcast, we're independent. Right. We're telling you information so that you will understand. We understand our people. So we're speaking in terms and we're creating shows that are helping you understand what's going on. So tune in. YouTube. If you're not on Substack is just like your show. Once they film over there, it goes to YouTube. So identify and subscribe to the people that you trust. There's a couple of them out there. Midas Touch, on point, man, on point. There's a young woman. Her name is Political Girl. Oh my God, that girl is so on point that it's scary. So you can go and find your resources. You can reach out to me. on a couple of my podcasts, my community briefing that I do on Thursdays, as well as the Business Zone. We have these discussions all the time. Dr. Rosie, the reason I created my podcast was because on Dr. Anderson, Claude Anderson's Powernomics, he said one of the most powerful key points in his 10-point plan was to tell your own narrative. And media is huge. Mm-hmm. And so all of us out here that have podcasts, we're staying in tune, and that's why we are in tune, because we got to keep researching stuff to have topics for the shows. And so we're staying in tune with what's going on, keeping our finger on the pulse, and then bringing that information to you. And just have to ask. Really, you just have to ask. I don't understand. Can somebody help me understand? My sister asked me that when it first came up. What do you think about redistricting and what Newsom's doing? And I told her, I said, well, this is what's happening. It's a power play. Mm-hmm. Now, who's going to win that game is the person that's going to be more aggressive than the other, basically. Right. Who's going to be more strategic than the other. So at this point, what we have to lose is far greater than what we have to stand on our principles. Because as you guys know, sometime in our community, our principles go back to 1920. We're following advice that we got from 1920. We're also following those street corner philosophers that don't have their finger on the pulse. So go to and get it firsthand. If you can read it with your own eyeballs, I think you can understand what they're saying.
And be critical. Krista, put in the chat how they can listen to your show.
Oh, okay. Please do.
Yeah, make sure put that in the chat. And you guys really want to tune in because Krista bring on top guests, always great information to empower the community. Hopefully one day I'm going to talk to Jamal and some others. Keith, I think it's time that we have a posting. Once I had a website and I took it down called 911. And 911 was for everything that you need to know about what's going on for Blackness. And I think it's time that somewhere that is posted, Chris, just like what you mentioned, all of these outlets, all of these people have these independent talk shows like mine, like yours. I believe if the public was aware, they could turn away from Channel 5, Channel 2, and I believe they would tune in to these shows, but they don't know. So I don't know, my hand is full with the town hall meeting and fighting for housing and Prop-19 and all the stuff that I'm fighting for. But somebody needs to look into that we would have one place that we can go and know their platform, what their platform is about. And we have choices and options to really listen to people who bring us the truth.
I agree with that, Dr. Rosie. I think for us, our biggest issue is the information and where to find it. We don't have time to know where that is. And I do agree. There is a couple of colleagues of mine that have event planning sites. Let me talk to one of them. She may be open to creating an outlet or update in her news.
For the different podcasts across this United States, we need to hear the voices of people all over to see what are their feelings, what are their thoughts.
Yeah, because you really got to stay tuned right now. Things are happening in such fast motion, and people have their own preconceived ideas. I was at an event last night. A young lady that I'm sorry, a young lady that was on our hold on a second. There we go. A young lady that was on our podcast a couple weeks ago. Her name is Dr. Rachel Lare. She has written a book called Black Capitalist, and so she's out in New York. She works at J.P. Morgan Chase as an asset wealth manager. So she is really that individual that believes that Black wealth and Black that we have a number of black capitalists, and we're just not. They're everybody's on a different page when it comes to us. But she is one that she wrote a book about it, and she's an anthropologist, a young black girl. And so I went last night and heard her speak. And I was in a room full of young people, Dr. Rosie. First time in my life I've been called the elder. You
made it, huh?
I made it. And a young lady asked, do I call you Miss Crystal or do I call you Crystal? Do not call me Miss Crystal unless you're my student. And so she asked me, but I made a comment that they were talking about it's possible to have black capitalists and black wealth, and it is, but we as a unit, we not there yet, right? So a young man that was immigrated here from Nigeria, and he's become quite wealthy with his business that he started. He felt it was just a matter of us coming together, and the numbers made sense, and we just put our tenaciousness together, and we can make it happen. So there were a number of immigrants from Africa that were there. And so I heard him and I said, that's all said and done. But, when you look around in our city, in our world, there's black Africans that came from descendants of slaves. There's Africans that came from the continent. And there are black folks that are in the Caribbean. The three of us do not merge like that. And we should merge like that, because if we did merge like that, we'd be so much more powerful. But we didn't believe that whatever that is, that they're different from us and they're treated different. And he didn't believe it. And I said, you know what? The minute from the outside, we look the same until you open your mouth. Have a British accent and be black and see how they treat you. Have a Caribbean accent and see how they treat you. They treat you different. So I'm in this room with all these young people, and I'm thinking, okay, this is who we need to tap into right here, is these young people. Yeah. Because they're eager, and that's what they said, call me an elder, said, we need to sit down and listen to you guys. You guys have fought many of these battles already to teach us what we need to do. Then we take our skill sets and we make it happen. And I said, that is what needs to happen.
That is the answer right there, Christian. That is the answer, to hear young people look up to the authoritative voices of those who, have been here for a while. That's what's going to push us to the next level. That's what. Now, Crystal, what do we have to lose if this proposition does not pass? And then I want you to make sure you have it in the chat, and I want Ricky to tell them where they can get his book, and I want the audience to know how they can reach out to you, Crystal.
Okay. Well, what we have to lose is our freedom, to be quite honest. I think where we are right now, the sacrifices of this one is going to be great. Trump has every intention until he takes his last breath to make sure that he is controlling the lay of the land here. And if that's what's going to happen, then you're going to lose your freedom. Because I'm going to be real honest with you guys. If he removes 55 million immigrants from this country, think about that. 55 million people who are paying taxes, and I believe it's like $97 billion of just the Social Security and Medicare taxes that they pay that they don't get to utilize, but it's there for us as American citizens. Not to count all the federal taxes and all of the things for those that are allowed to work here in this country. So now what does that happen? You take out all of that money, billions of dollars. We're probably talking close to 285 billions of dollars that are no longer in this country. Then you take out the migrant workers. So now that means the food supply is reduced down to nothing, right? Because there's nobody out there picking. And I don't know about you guys, but I doubt very seriously you're going to get any of us out there picking anything in anybody's field.
Well, you know what, Chris? It seems like we're going to bring somebody on, Keith, to deal with the economy, because it seems like we're heading for economic collapse. This country is already $37 trillion in debt. So I'm saying to everybody out there, if you got any money, whatever you got, if you can buy some property, whatever you can invest in that's sound, you better take note of that. We are headed for an economic collapse, just from what Crystal just mentioned. Where is the source going to come from? That's how your freedom is going to be taken. It's going to be all of that, especially when there's a talk about cutting Social Security check. People with Social Security not having enough to pay rent as it is. The time is moving so fast. Crystal, put in the chat and the phone number, because I know there's people that want to hear from you. Ricky, I want you to tell them, give them the name of your book, and tell them how they can get it.
You can go to Amazon and you can put up my name, Ricky Lamont Davis, or just Ricky Davis, and it'll pop up When a Mustard Seed Gets Heavy. And this book is a compilation of poems that deal with life, lessons, and love, and the importance of what faith looks like when times get tough, and how do you persevere through it all. It's dealing with just faith. That's why it's called, When a Mustard Seed Gets Heavy. And so it's poetic expressions, very easy read, and it can relate to anybody, young to old.
And I think time done got tough now, huh?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Time done got tough, you guys.
Dr. Milligan?
Yes,
I would like to say something briefly. I want to thank Ms. Crystal and the other panelists, Mr. Ricky and Keith, and of course you, Dr. Milligan. But I just wanted to share with you, I work elections. That is what I do. We work from 8 to 8, Saturday to Sunday. So I already put my name on the list to go back with this crazy stuff we're getting ready to do. I call it a little crazy because the simple fact is we don't vote. We don't even understand what we're voting for. And until we can understand what it is, who we're voting for, who we're going to hold accountable, nothing will never change. Nothing. And a lot of my friends, doctors, attorneys, with positions, they don't have the intelligence to vote. A no vote means, Miss Crystal put it this way, a no vote means you didn't vote. That's what a no vote, you didn't vote. When Trump and Kamala, the United States is not ready for a black president female. We're not ready. Now, I'm not saying it's not me. I'm stating for the 50 states. We're not ready for a black president female. Barack Obama, I guarantee you, the very one and the only one. We will not ever see that again. None of us will see that again. But I just wanted to share all of my friends that I talk to. I just tell them, you need to go vote, but you need to vote the right way. I can't tell you how to vote. This is how we got this man the second time. Black people did not vote. They did not vote. We have 97% poor people in the United States. Only 3% is wealthy. The millionaires, the billionaire. If you take 97% out of 50 states and you vote the way that you're supposed to vote, Donald Trump never should have got back in. But that's all I want to say. And I didn't vote for him. I will never vote for nobody like that.
Well,
that's all I wanted to say.
Barbara, I tell them to vote, and I tell them who to vote for. Y'all can do what you want to. Yeah, I tell them who to vote for, because they don't know. They need leadership. You go to that poll, and here, I'll go and check the ballot for them. Here's what you need to do, okay? So be bold enough to do that. If they don't know, if you know a little bit, you know more than what they know. Christian?
And here's my contact information. So one of the things, what we did this year, we actually, in the last 3 elections, we've done this, leading up to the election from September, October, and all the way up to November. There are a number of colleagues in Los Angeles of mine. We were having meetings every Thursday at the townhouse I think it's called the Vincent now, but the Down House. And we were walking through every question on the vote. We were bringing in representatives from the community, and they were speaking on in different ballots. And so that's what we did. And so, and we will be doing that again. We'll be gearing up. And so I am sure now that we have this special election, we're going to do it. We're waiting because we're still pretty early on for the midterms. But if need be, I'll see my friend tomorrow on Thursday. She'll be on the community briefing, and I will see her, and we will talk about having those meetings. The other one is Win with Black Women. That it was a powerful network of women that were out there making things happen. So I would say to everyone, reach out to me. My information is out there, and I can guide you to wherever you need to know, wherever you need to be. I know somebody that's doing it. And it's just staying in tune. We can no longer sit in our houses hiding and thinking it's going to pass over. It's not. They're just waiting to round up all of the brown people, and then they will next be there to hassle us. And so we have to be ready with a plan. And that's what that's what the town hall meeting's about. We just can't be sitting here without a plan, guys. We got to have a plan.
That's right. Absolutely. And you guys, the clock on the wall, the show is going to air at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, innerlightradio.com. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank Miss Krista. She's out there. She's doing it. She didn't just start, and she couldn't stop if she want to, because we're not going to let her. So she's going to be holding it down, you guys. So for Ricky, my co-host Keith, Jamal, Brenda, thank you for being on, Jackie, and all those others who are listening. All we need you to do is to spread the word. Don't do like you do on Sunday. You know, you hear a good message, you go home, and you take it to bed. We want you to take this to the street. You guys have a great day as you go on your way. As always, be blessed and stay in the light. And stay in the knowledge. Stay in the know.
Thank you so much. And Ricky, your book is fire.
You hear
I
that?
purchased it and I've read it over twice already.
Thank you. Thank you.
Spread the word. Thank you so much.
That made my day, Barbara. Thank you.
That's Brenda.